being now 30 years old and not being married. Welcome back to my channel. This is Wildflower Carm, and I'm coming at you guys today with a bit of a different video than what you guys are used to seeing on my channel, but it's definitely gonna be a part of Wildflower Carm and just all things wildflower. When I sat down with the Lord to get a vision for this year for my life, one of the things that I definitely prayed about was my YouTube channel and what ways he wanted me, like what direction he really wanted me to go in, and like what are all the things that he really wanted me to focus on and talk about. I think I said in a video previously, Wildflower is a name that my friends gave me on my, I want to say it was my 26th birthday, and it's really representative of who I am like in Christ, and really just the woman that he's made me through all of my years of being really active on the mission field and doing like just different work for the kingdom, and just like my personality. I was praying like, okay God, like what do you want Wildflower to be? Because I knew what I wanted Wildflower to be, but I didn't know what he wanted it to be. The things that he gave me were photography, as you can see up here, photography, of course natural hair, like travel / like the nations, but really missions work, because that's who I am. Like the purpose and the call of my life is to be a missionary. And then all things Jesus. And so those are probably like that, plus just honestly being a complete girly girl and a foodie. Those are like the things that really make me up as Carm. Like those are the great loves of my life. Those are things I'm really into. Today I'm going to do a video that's going to be once a month, right in the middle of the month. On the 15th is when I'm going to try to release it every month. And it's just called In His Will. What I'm going to do is every month I'm going to pray, and the Lord is going to give me a topic to speak on. And I'm just going to talk about it and just talk about my experiences with that topic. Today is actually Valentine's Day, and I'm not dressed up because I wanted a date, because I definitely didn't. I am dressed up because we buried my grandmother today. And so I just got back from that, and like, you know, spending time with my family and stuff like that. I was driving home after that because I spent some time with my brother, like my family, and then my brothers after that. And I was driving home and I just got like overwhelmingly sad, because singleness in itself doesn't really bother me. Like there's so many things that I'm so thankful to do as a single woman. But I think what bothers me is, I guess, just the contrast in this Valentine's Day versus other ones that I've experienced. And I'm not gonna get like into all of that, but it is just a different Valentine's Day, you know, like we buried my grandmother today. So yeah, no dates, no nothing like that. It's just me, and I didn't plan anything special for myself, which is something that in other years previously when I was single, I would like maybe do something really nice for myself. Because I also believe that you should just celebrate love in itself. But I didn't plan anything today because honestly, it was a funeral day. And so as I was driving home, and like now that all the other emotions are done, I'm like, oh my gosh, like it's Valentine's Day, and I'm like by myself, and my family is like scattered doing their own thing. So came home and I was like, okay, Lord, I feel like I should do this video tonight. What do you want me to talk about? And he just said love. And so I'm just gonna talk about love tonight. And I'll be honest, I don't have a teaching or like a whole bunch of scriptures laid out. I'm just gonna talk about my experiences with love, and just receiving love from the Father. To be honest, I'm like one of those girls, I have always wanted to be married. Like it's always been something that I've desired. And I know we use the word shame a lot in our culture. We can food shame people or weight shame people, but I do think that there's a such thing as like feeling shame or guilt for having the desire to be married, because we are told so often as single women, be content, be content, be content. And I am not at all saying don't be content. That is in the word. We are supposed to be content. Paul talked about being content in every season that he was in, whether he was hungry or full, he was content. And I think that is a beautiful gift from the Lord to learn how to be content. But that has always been my desire. It's always been my desire to get married. And so being now 30 years old and not being married, and it's Valentine's Day, and like I said, we buried my grandmother today, but even if that hadn't been the case, I wasn't going on a date. There was nothing like that planned. Like, I'm not talking to anybody. And that is, a lot of that is by choice, for sure, because I don't date just to date. Like, I am very, very intentional about who I choose to focus on, who I choose to spend my time with. Like, I could find some random schmandom guy to go on a date with, but that's not for me. The last year, I would say, has been a lot of the Lord teaching me what love truly is and not what I've imagined it in my mind to be. I struggle a lot with like the expectation of love, you know. Being a Christian woman, like, we have these expectations for love and like what it's supposed to look like and who Prince Charming is supposed to be. And the last year a lot of it has been the Lord kind of unraveling that and kind of undoing that, in a sense. Not that I'm not still going to get what God has for me or what I deserve, and not that my husband isn't going to treat me well, because I believe that he will. But I think just false expectations of how perfect or how wonderful it should be, or even just what my story is supposed to be. I can tell you that in relationships that I've been in the past, one of the biggest things that I think weighed me down, and probably both of us down, me and my, you know, whoever my boyfriend or whatever was at the time, was the disappointment that I had from failed expectations. Like, it is not supposed to be like this. But I'm in a new place now of, as the Lord has unraveled that, and what I feel like I want, like, oh God, he has to be this, or it should look like that. Like, being a missionary, my expectation a lot of times has been to marry a missionary man, somebody who is out there in the field. Maybe that's what God has for me. Maybe it's not what he has for me. I don't know. He has to be this kind of romantic, or talk like this, or act like this. And there are just things that I genuinely have expectations for. And as the Lord hasn't done those things, he's beginning to teach me what love really should look like. And I'm realizing, you know, it's far more important to have somebody who is kind than somebody who is charismatic. Far more important to have somebody who is responsible than funny. And not that you can't get both of those things. Hear me when I say sense of humor is important, but all of the characteristics and the things that I think I looked for before, or just was so drawn to, God is showing me, like, you know, I want to teach you to be loved in a new way. And so that has first of all started by him loving me the right way, allowing him to show me my worth, teaching me in turn how to love as well, has been monumental and so important for me. And it has provided for me such peace in the seasons where I'm single. Allowing his love to be what satisfies my heart this year is like more than enough, you know. Even not doing things like running to food or to shopping and stuff like that, which I can tell you in past seasons I did that. I ran to food, I ran to shopping, I ran to people. Learning to love of the Father, you guys, has been my life in this season. And even truly releasing what I desire in order to allow him to write my love story. And I know it sounds really cliche, but in actuality, as I reflected on my 20s, I had to realize, you know, Carm, I've always done things a certain kind of way, dated a certain kind of way. I have liked a certain kind of guy and stuff like that, and that has gotten me nowhere. Like, shout out to all my exes. If you run across this video, some of y'all have really great hearts, but like, the kind of guys that I naturally, unfortunately, am drawn to are guys that are so emotionally unavailable, guys that are not ready to be married. That's just me being honest. That's a transparency moment. I dated all in my 20s guys who were not ready to be married, and all I wanted was to be married. As God has changed things about me through the way that he loves me and through me and his relationship, and when I say like loving the Lord and allow him to love me, I mean stuff like Yes, stuff like being reminded that I'm beautiful no matter how much I weigh, or being reminded that I am worth it, or worth the wait, or worth the pursuit from somebody who's really gonna put in the effort that it's gonna take to marry me. But I'm also meaning the things like him calling me into deep consecrations and seasons of fasting and prayer to get rid of the world and like sacrifice those things and get rid of all this stuff in me, like your continuous cycles of fasting and prayer and consecration. Hardcore. And I do not say that at all to boast or brag on myself. It has been hard, but I truly believe it has built so much intimacy with me and the Father. Like, I hear his voice clear, like I understand him more. It has replenished and recovered some things in me that I felt like I had lost before. And so being in that place and allowing God to show me that love is correction sometimes, and love is chastisement sometimes, because the word says he chastises those who he loves. That love sometimes is rest, daughter, you know, like take the night off, watch your favorite YouTube series or whatever. And that love sometimes is actually, no, put that away for 21 days. Knowing that love is sometimes to be quiet. Love is sometimes to be loud and say a lot. Love is sometimes very specific instructions from the Lord. And love is sometimes, no, we're partners in this. What do you want to do? Learning the depth of our relationship is really transforming the way I think about everything. So I can't say that this is like a finished thing in my mind. All I know is that I'm learning about love in this season. It starts with the love of Jesus. And I believe as I come to fully know his love and accept his love and like surrender to his love, he's teaching me how to love my neighbor, love him with all of my heart, mind, soul, and strength. You know, surrendering to him, being obedient to him. Love my neighbor as myself, which is what we're supposed to do. Love my neighbor as myself. And I believe with that is going to come me loving and being loved by the right man of God when it's time. Yeah, that's where I'm at this Valentine's Day, you guys. And I'm gonna take some time tonight and just pray for everybody who's subscribed to my channel, and everybody who's going to see this video, and pray that whatever Valentine's Day looks like for you, even if you're in another country and you don't celebrate Valentine's Day, that whatever Valentine's Day looked like for you, that it was full of love. And if it was not full of love, or if you felt like it wasn't full of love, I pray that February 15th is full of love. I pray that February 21st is full of love. I pray that the rest of this year and many years to come is full of love, because our perspective shifts to what love really is supposed to be. If you do have somebody, good for you. Go out and celebrate this day. Take them on a date. Buy them their favorite whatever. Like, enjoy that, because I also know that those are sweet, sweet, sweet seasons that we get to have with people that we love, especially in romantic relationship. And we don't get people forever. And I'm not talking about like being in a relationship and then breaking up. I'm just saying, like, life happens. Once again, I buried my grandmother today. At some point she was married to my grandfather, you know, and so I realized that like life happens and it's gonna go fast. I'm already 30, you know. Prayerfully I have a good 70 more years in me to do what the Lord has called me to do, and to serve and love and do all the things. But cherish the people that you have right now while you have them, and let love lead you. I'm praying for you guys, and I know this video was kind of all over the place, but it was just what was on my heart tonight, just to talk about love and just a few of the things that I've experienced. These videos are going to be like once a month. I'll probably be a little more prepared for next month. I hope there's something that somebody can get from it, that they can really enjoy. You guys have a blessed night. If you are not subscribed to my channel, subscribe, like, comment. And if y'all see this hair, this is just a little random thing. This was from the random braid out I did the other day. It came out phenomenal. And so yeah, that Mael, it was Mael Organics or just Mael. It was like from their honey and pomegranate line. My hair loves that stuff, you guys. Like, my hair is really loving that stuff. So yes, that's that. But yeah, so like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope you guys have a good night.